In the previous session, we wrote our first line of code to make a collectible object rotate in the scene. Now here, you will complete the interactive living room scene with more code that allows the player to pick up the collectible object, rewarding them with a satisfying visual effect. You will also add more collectibles throughout the room to complete the scene. I will right click on this gizmo and I will come into the top view. And if I just zoom out and have a look, so we have our vacuum cleaner here and the collectible here. Dirt one, right click, come into the front view and I will slightly move it down. I will move this a little more down and I will come to file, save it. And now if I play again, you can see how my entire vacuum cleaner gets bulged. It is acting as an obstacle. Now I doesn't want this dirt to be an obstacle, but it should be something like a pass-through. I will stop the playback. Now with dirt 1 selected, you can see that it is already applied with a box collider, and here you have an option called as ease trigger. If I enable ease trigger, and now if I save this and if I play the game, you can now see that our vacuum cleaner now passes through this dirt without any obstruction. See, it is just passing through this dirt. But this looks unnatural. Actually, what should happen is when our vacuum cleaner comes near this dirt should be absorbed by the vacuum cleaner. That is, this dirt has to now disappear. And this we are going to do it using the code. So I will stop the playback. Now here in the scene, we have our vacuum cleaner which is the player here, and in the player, if you come and see, we have applied a rigid body component to this player. This is already applied, and we also have a box collider. And now for this dirt one, we have added a box collider. When two components have colliders and if one of them has a rigid body, when these two objects touch each other, when their colliding area intersect with each other, we can call for a function in Unity, and we call this function as OnTriggerEnter. Coming to the project window, come into our Unity profile content scripts, and we had previously created this script called Collectibles. Now double click this Collectible script to open this. Coming into Collectible script, after update, we are now going to call for a new method or a new function. Enter twice, and now if you see in the code, there are two conditions for which we have mentioned the code. One, start when the game starts. Another is update. This is when the game renders every frame. Whatever is in this update, this will be executed every frame. And now the next condition we have to test is what should happen when two objects touch each other or when a collision is triggered. I am going to call a private. This time I am calling a private function so that this function or method is used only in this script. And next I will type void because this is not going to return any value. And the function here is, if you type OnTriggerEnter, you can see here OnTriggerEnter. If I click on it, automatically you have this collider other added as a parameter in the bracket, and in between this open and close flower bracket, we are going to write our code. Here private void has got entered twice. I will delete one of them. Now you have private void OnTriggerEnter. The parameter is collider other. And here what should happen? In Unity or in coding, we use something called as a pseudocode. Pseudocode means, especially when you are working as a team, what should happen when this trigger enter enters? I want my object to be destroyed. And this I am going to write simply like destroy object, and this destroy object is a comment which is for the programmers, and this destroy object should be only for the programmers who read it, and the machine, when it is reading the code, it should not execute it. In that case, before this line we add 2 forward slashes, and when you add 2 forward slashes, immediately this is going to actually create this in green line, and whatever you are seeing now is a text that can be read by the programmer, but the actual program is not going to recognize it. This is for us to reference or to document our program. So now when it enters the trigger, I want the object to get destroyed, and instead of object, what it should destroy? It should destroy the collectible. Now I will press enter, and now I am going to actually write the code which our Unity software is going to read, and the command we are going to type here is destroy open close bracket and end it with semicolon. What should it destroy? It is showing me the tip here, game object. If I save this, come back to Unity, allow the script to get compiled, come to console, see that there are no errors. Now if I play the game, and as soon as my vacuum cleaner comes near this dirt one, see the dirt one got disappeared. So I will stop the playback. You can see even in the hierarchy, you can see dirt one now, but when I start the playback, and when my vacuum cleaner just touches, see in the hierarchy also, as soon as it touches my dirt one, see it got destroyed. I will stop the playback. So now, where as soon as the vacuum cleaner comes near our collectible, it disappears. Now actually, if this dirt simply disappears, the user cannot actually feel that the dust is getting abstracted. So I want to add a visual effect here, wherein as soon as this trigger happens, I want this particle to splatter or get burst or explode, and this kind of effect we call it as visual effect, and that is achieved in Unity profile by making use of particle system. So if you select any of the game object here, if you come into add component, and if you type particle, you can see that I can add a particle system to any of the component here. So right now I am not going to add it for the dirt one. I am going to cancel this. I will not add this component. Now there are some prefabs already created for you with this kind of particle effect. Come into the project window, and if you come into Unity profile contents prefab, there is a folder called VFX. Double click to open it, and there are some 5 kinds of effect present here. For example, you have VFX 2D burst, and if you select it, on the right hand side you can see that it has been added with a particle system. Say for example, I select this VFX 2D burst prefab, and if I double click to open this, you can see that now you are seeing the VFX 2D burst. You have a game object called VFX 2D burst, and for that we have added this particle system, and here now you see a window which shows particles, and if I click on the play button here, you can see how these particles are playing here. If I double click VFX 2D explode, VFX burst, if I select this, I will double click to zoom this out. Now if I click the play button, you can see how it is bursting. Then you have float up. If I double click, come here, double click to open this, press play, you can see that how it is floating up. And finally you have splatter. I will select this and I will double click and then click the play button, and you can see how it is splattering. So I will come back to the scene now. Now I want to add this effect to my dirt, so that when my vacuum cleaner comes and hits the dirt, I want this component to trigger or come into the scene and play the effect. We are again going to work on the script. Now, in the project window, I will come to Unity Profile Content, double click to open script, and I will select the collectibles, double click to open it in Visual Studio Code. We are now going to declare a new variable. Now, when we are declaring a variable, every variable has data type. What type of data is stored in it? To give you an example, all these variables are similar to a container. Every container is shaped to store a particular type of data. For example, if you want to create a container to store rice, the container will be different. However, if you want to store oil, the container will be different. So similarly, even in programming, we have different type of data types. For example, here for rotation speed, if we have put 0.5f, this is a float or a decimal type of data. Here, if the data is the name, it is called as the string type. And similarly, if the data is a number, we call it as integer, and that we are going to mention it after public or private. And just like in other programming languages, we declare data type like integer or number or decimal. In case of Unity, you can even declare game object itself as a variable. After this rotation speed in line number 5, I will come to the end of the line number, press enter, and now I am going to declare another public variable, and the type of variable here I am going to use is game object. For this, G will be capital, game object, and I am going to call this as on C capital, collect effect, and I am going to end it with semicolon. So now I have declared a new variable which is a game object, and it is called as on collect effect. Now I will come to file and I am going to save it. Now if I come back to Unity now, wait for the script to get compiled, see that in console you doesn't have any error. Now this collectible script is attached to dirt1, and if you come to select this dirt1, in the inspector, if you come to collectible script, now this on collect effect variable, you can see it here, and right now it is assigned with no game object. I will come into the project window, Unity Profile Content, Prefabs, VFX, and here I am going to select any of this prefab and attach to this on collect effect. So I will come back here and select dirt1, and now from this project window, say I want to use VFX splatter effect. I will drag this and attach it here on collect effect. I will add this. VFX splatter is now the game object that will be added or triggered when you call this on collect effect. I will come to file and save it. As of now, if you play the game, nothing is going to happen because we have declared the variable, we have attached the variable with the prefab VFX splatter. For it to come on the screen, we have to follow a process in Unity which we call as instantiation. Instantiation means this particular prefab will be added to your scene using this command instantiation. I will now come into project window, Unity Profile Content, Scripts, double click Collectibles to open this. I will come into this function OnTriggerEnter because I want this to be instantiated only when the collision happens. So in OnTriggerEnter, you have destroy object, but before you destroy the object, I will come at the start of this flower bracket, press enter. I am going to type instantiate. You have instantiate, and after instantiate, I will add open close brackets and end it with semicolon. And for this instantiate, I have to give 3 parameters. Now first I have to tell Unity which prefab or which game object I want to instantiate. Here I want to instantiate the game object that we declared here on collect effect. I will copy this and paste it. Now I will add a comma. Now next, where it has to be instantiated, what is its position in screen, at what point it has to instantiate. I am going to call this parameter transform dot position. This means that the position where the collision is happening, at that current position, this prefab will be instantiated. Add a comma. Then also I have to add rotation. For this I will call transform period rotation. With the current rotation and with the current position, I want this VFX splatter to get instantiated. And above this instantiate line, I will press enter, and here I will also add a comment. I will add 2 forward slashes. We are going to instantiate the particle effect. Any other game developer can understand what exactly is happening. Now I will come to File, save this, come back to Unity, allow for the script to compile. Once it is compiled, come to console window, there are no errors. Now if I play the game, now you see when my vacuum cleaner comes and hits the dirt, you can see an effect here happening. I will again stop the playback. I will again start the playback, and here see that you can see the effect. But the only problem here is in the effect, the actual particle that we are seeing is white, but our actual dirt is in brown color. So it looks odd. So to correct this, I will stop the playback. I will select dirt 1, press F to zoom to this. I will come into project, Unity profile contents. Then I will double click prefabs, VFX. So I will select VFX splatter here, and I won't double click it now. I will just select this start color, click here. You have a ink dropper. I will select it and click on this point. So now this color is selected. I will close this. I will come to File and save it. Now if I execute the game and if I test it, see when it hits, the color of the splat is also the same as my dirt. See, you can see it is coming with the same color. So I will stop the playback. Now here, as of now, we have just one dirt and we have to place multiple dirt game object throughout our scene. For this, I will come here into this gizmo, right click, and I will come into the top view, and I will right click and disable perspective view temporarily. Now if I zoom out, you can see that we have placed our first obstacle here. I will slightly place it just in front of my vacuum cleaner. Now I want multiple copies of this. So I will select this dirt one. I will first press Ctrl plus D. You can see a duplicate copy has been created and placed at the same position. But now I want to place it at a different location along the x-axis. Now when I am dragging, if I want to place it at equal distances, when I press Ctrl and drag it, you can see it is placed exactly at 1 on grid position. So if I now move it here and press Ctrl D to duplicate, press Ctrl and drag it, but this distance is too much. So I will press Ctrl Z to undo, and I will come here on the right side. You have the snapping icon, and if I open this, you can see now the grid size is set to 1. I am going to set this grid size to 0.5. If I come here, select it along the x-axis, press Ctrl and drag it, it moves by half unit. I will make this a cycle. First press Ctrl D, with Ctrl press drag it. So with middle mouse I will pan it. I will again press Ctrl D, and this time I will drag it along the Z axis. So press Ctrl and drag it. So it will move from equidistance. So I will move it here. Again press Ctrl D, Ctrl and drag it. Ctrl D, press Ctrl and drag it along x-axis. Ctrl D, press Ctrl and drag again. Ctrl D, press Ctrl and drag again. I will temporarily switch off this camera overlay. Then Ctrl D, Ctrl and drag it. Ctrl D, press Ctrl and drag it. Ctrl D and press Ctrl and drag it. So instead of pressing Ctrl every time, I can come here and enable this snapping. Now with middle mouse click, I will pan down. First press Ctrl D, duplicate it and drag it. Ctrl D, drag it. Ctrl D, drag it. With middle mouse, I will move it down. Ctrl D, this time I will drag it along x-axis. Ctrl D, drag it. Ctrl D, drag along x-axis. Ctrl D, drag it. Ctrl D, drag it. I will middle mouse click and pan it. Press Ctrl D and drag it. Ctrl D and drag it. Then Ctrl D, drag it along x-axis. Ctrl D, drag it. Ctrl D, drag it. Ctrl D, drag it. With shift press, I can multiple select all these 5. Now if I press Ctrl D and then drag this entire block is now getting duplicated. See, all the 5 got duplicated. Now again I select this last one here, press Ctrl D and drag it, Ctrl D, drag it, Ctrl D, drag it. So now I have created a path of my obstacles or the collectibles and place it all along my room. Coming back to hierarchy, here you can see now from dirt 1 to dirt 33. And with all this selected, I will right click and create an empty object and I am going to call this as collectibles. If I close it, all my collectibles are placed inside this group. Now I will go to file, save this, and if I execute the game, you can now see that as I move, I can just collect every point. Now press D and turn around. Press W and collect it. Again press A to turn around and I am going to move. Press A to turn to right. Then I will press W and collect all this. So we are now able to run this game and we are able to now destroy and collect all these collectibles using our vacuum cleaner. This part is running fine. So I will finally stop the playback. Although now the game is appearing to be running okay, we have to now test this game under different conditions. The very first condition here is when we have placed these collectibles all over the path, these collectibles should get destroyed only when it is colliding with our player. But if by chance if it collides with any other object, it should not get destroyed. To make you understand this bug, we call this as a logical bug, wherein I am going to now right click, come into the front view and I will just middle mouse click, move around and come to the side view and here. So I will come into 3 living room here, open the furniture and you have chairs here. I will say for example, I select this chair dining B. I select this chair and this chair is applied with rigid body. Move it to the top like this. Disable snapping, then I will come into the top view and I am going to place this chair somewhere on this path of collectibles. Then again I will come into the front view and I am going to press E for rotation tool. I am going to rotate it. This is a rigid body, so if I play the game, this is going to fall down. If you come into the game view, you can see this chair is floating here. If I play the game now, when I play the game now, if I press the play button and when the chair falls down, you can observe that the collectible here got destroyed when the chair touched it. So this is a logical bug. These collectibles should get destroyed only when it is hit by the player, but it should not get destroyed by any other object. I am now going to stop the playback. I will come back to scene view. I will select this chair and along the Z axis I will keep its rotation back to 0. I will come into the top view. I will just take the move tool and I am going to drag this and place it at the required position like this. So if required, I will also come into the left view and keep it down so that it is just touching the floor. So I will right mouse click and see that the chair is correctly placed. I want these collectibles to get destroyed only when it is hit by vacuum cleaner, and if some other object touches it, it shouldn't get destroyed. We have to now come here into the hierarchy. I will close the 3 living room, select the player, and in the player in the inspector you have one feature called here as tag. If I click here, I am going to attach this player with a tag called as player. I will come into Unity Profile Content Scripts and I select the collectible script, double click to open it in Visual Studio Code. This 2 lines, instantiate, on, collect, effect and destroy object, I want this to run only when a condition is true, and the condition is only when the collider that is triggering this OnTriggerEnter, if it is player, only then I want this to get destroyed and I want this particle effect to play. In almost all coding platforms, we use a kind of statement which is called as the conditional statement. And one of the best example for conditional statement is if. So I will show you how to use this if statement here. Now inside this OnTriggerEnter method, after this open flower bracket, I will add my cursor and press enter, and I am going to write a comment and I am going to say test that the collider is the player. I am going to type if and I will put open close bracket, and in the open close bracket we are going to write the condition. Now only when this condition is true, I want something to happen. And what should happen when the condition is true? That commands or that statements we write it in open close flower brackets. See, and I am going to press enter, and in between this open close flower bracket something should happen only when the condition in this parenthesis is true. And the condition here we are going to test is, we already have declared a collider name by name other. So I am going to call this collider. So first OnTriggerEnter, I am going to test which is the colliding object, that is other, and for this I will add a command called as compare tag, and it will compare the tag, and in open close parenthesis inside this, inside inverted comma, I am going to call my tag which is player. So this statements, what it does is, whenever the collision happens, the program is going to test whether the colliding object has the tag player, and only if the player tag is present, only then. Now I will select this 4 lines here, I will press Ctrl X to cut it, and I will come inside this flower brackets and paste it, and I will just press tab and rearrange these codes correctly. So now this instantiation and destruction of game object is going to happen only when you are hit by an object which has the tag player. So now if I save this, come back to Unity, so wait for the script to compile, come to console, there are no errors. In the scene, I will come into 3 living room furniture, and I am going to select dining B2 chair, and I will right click and move around and see that this chair is touching my collider. So I will place it in such a way so that this chair is touching the collider. If I now save this and if I execute, when the game is running, I will come into the scene and show you this is not getting destroyed. So now we will stop the playback. I will press Ctrl Z once, twice, thrice to move the chair back to its original position. Go to File, save this.